music station, Hot 99.5.
Good morning, America. Breaking overnight. Bomb threat. Suspicious packages sent to U.S. military bases, at least one with explosive material. The investigation right now.
The White House now responding to those blockbuster claims from adult film star Stormy Daniels as Stormy strikes back, taking legal action against the president's personal attorney. And what the First Lady is saying about the scandal.
Facebook now under federal investigation for that privacy breach, and a new outrage after the company acknowledges it logs phone calls and text for some users.
Water ride tragedy. The man behind the world's tallest water slide arrested by U.S. Marshals, facing charges after a 10-year-old died on his ride. The shocking allegations that the park ignored warnings to impress a reality show.
And 98-year-old Sister Jean put on notice. Loyola Chicago's Lucky Charm called out by a famous basketball star's grandma who's 100. As the March Madness wars heat up, who will win the trash talk battle before the big game?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. I hope you're well this Tuesday morning. I apologize. I did not get the lace memo this morning.
Oh, but if you had, you would have.
You all look lovely. How about the greatest cheerleaders in college basketball history?
You can't make this stuff up. You can't. We're going to talk about that later. Oh, Sister Jean, and now Jalen Rose's grandma, who's 100, saying, you know, it's Michigan's time.
Oh, yeah. It's been a good ride, but it's over. I believe that's what she said.
Yeah. We're going to begin, though, with that bomb scare at multiple government facilities in the Washington, D.C. area, including several military bases. The FBI is now investigating suspicious packages, at least one of them containing explosive material. ABC's David Curley is at Fort McNair in D.C., where one of those packages was sent. Good morning, David.
Morning, Robin. Multiple military facilities and multiple government facilities here in the D.C. area. We know the most about the incident right here at the Army base, Fort McNair, in the district. It was less than 24 hours ago that a building here was evacuated because a suspicious package was found. And what a specialized team came in and what they discovered was a black powder on that package, which can be used in explosive devices. An X-ray revealed that inside that package was a GPS and a fuse. The package was rendered safe. That's just one of 3 military bases that got packages. The military is telling us there were multiple locations and then referred us to the FBI. Well, the FBI went even further, talking about government facilities, which could mean just regular government buildings here in the Washington, D.C. area. How many? They're not telling us. Were they all a threat? We don't know from the FBI at this hour. They're continuing their investigation. But, Robin, this comes on the heels of that incident just a week ago at Travis Air Force Base in California, in which a driver in a vehicle drove through and propane tanks exploded. The driver was killed. That's not terrorism. What we don't know is whether these packages found throughout the D.C. area yesterday, were they all a threat? Certainly a concern for federal investigators and for the people arriving here for work at McNair.
Absolutely. Robin? And people want to know if there's some sort of connection there. Thank you, David.
That is scary. Echoes of Austin as well. We're going to move on now to new fallout from that Stormy Daniels interview on 60 Minutes. More than 20 million watched. And the White House is denying the porn star's claims of an affair with Trump as she takes new legal action against Trump attorney Michael Cohen, accusing him of defamation. Our chief national correspondent Tom Yamas is here with the latest. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. Stormy Daniels' attorney tells me with all the legal back and forth, security for the adult film star has picked up recently because of the amounts of threats she's now receiving, including ones they deem credible.
This morning, a new legal move by Stormy Daniels, amending her lawsuit against the president and his attorney, Michael Cohen, now claiming Cohen defamed her by implying she's lying and arguing the $130,000 payoff she received from him in a hush agreement was essentially an illegal campaign contribution. That's because it was 11 days before the election, when Mr. Trump was a candidate, an allegation already filed with the Federal Election Commission by a watchdog group. Daniels' attorney telling George yesterday,
he can tweet on every other subject known to mankind, but for some reason he can't come out and deny the affair. He can't come out and deny the existence of the agreement and his knowledge of it, and he can't come out and deny the $130,000 payment. Why is that?
The White House says the president himself didn't know about the payment. Cohen says he facilitated the funds independent of the Trump organization and the campaign.
I can say categorically that obviously White House didn't engage in any wrongdoing.
The White House responding to Daniels' interview on 60 Minutes, which more than 20 million people watched. The Washington Post reporting the president was one of those viewers.
The president strongly, clearly, and has consistently denied these underlying claims, and the only person who's been inconsistent is the one making the claims.
In 2011, Daniels says she tried to sell her story to a tabloid for $15,000, but the magazine never published it, and she never got paid. That same year, Daniels says she was physically threatened, approached by a man in a parking lot when she was with her baby.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "It's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
Now we're learning more about Daniels, who was known in her Louisiana high school as Stephanie Gregory. Her senior yearbook photo showing the then aspiring journalist choosing the caption, "We will all get along just fine as soon as you realize that I am queen." Today, Daniels lives in Texas with her 7-year-old daughter and husband, estranged from her mother, who told ABC News she hasn't spoken to her daughter in years. And when she's not on tour at adult entertainment nightclubs across the country, Daniels' other hobby, horses. Here's video of her competing at an equestrian event in 2017, but that's on hold for now.
I did not want my family and my child exposed to all the things that she's being exposed to right now, because everything that I was afraid of coming out has come out anyway.
Now, I am told Daniels will not stop working. She continues to have appearances where she works as an exotic dancer, including one upcoming right near Mar-a-Lago. George.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Let's bring in our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, for more on all this. So, Cecilia, the White House answering questions right now, White House staff. We now know the president watched, but he's not saying a word about this.
Yeah, you know, and this is a president, George, that the White House always says he likes to counterpunch. No counterpunches in this one. A lot of reports up there about whether he did watch, he didn't watch. You said it, the White House is not saying officially, but it very much seems like he watched, given that the White House's line is that the president doesn't believe any of Stormy Daniels' claims that she made in that interview. He's also reportedly seeking out advice from those close to him about whether he should respond and how this is affecting his poll numbers. The advice so far: don't respond. He seems to be following it. The First Lady's office is responding to questions about whether she watched George. Their statement: she is focused on being a mom while enjoying that spring break down in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, the president doesn't always follow legal advice, but pretty clear if he did respond in some way right now, it would probably draw a new defamation suit from Stormy right there. On another subject, we now are finding out the Commerce Department, for the first time in decades, is going to ask a new question on the census about citizenship. That's drawing some controversy.
Oh, hugely controversial. A lot of backlash, particularly from civil rights groups and Democrats. So this will be on the 2020 census, asking about citizenship status. California authorities announced overnight that they filed a lawsuit. Take a look. In an op-ed, they wrote its effect would be truly insidious. It would discourage non-citizens and their citizen family members from responding to the census, resulting in a less accurate population count. George, the administration here says this will help identify Voting Rights Act violations.
Okay, Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Amy?
All right, George. Well, the White House also sending a message to Russia. President Trump expelling 60 Russian diplomats from the U.S. in retaliation for that nerve agent attack on a former Russian spy and his daughter in England. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is at the Russian consulate here in New York with more on this story. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Amy. Well, this morning it's not business as usual here at the Russian consulate. There are people packing their bags in there today as the world awaits Russia's response to this unprecedented diplomatic action. As you pointed out, President Trump expelling 60 Russian diplomats, 12 here, 48 from the embassy in Washington in retaliation for that poisoning with a deadly nerve agent. And President Trump also rallying allies to punish Russia, too. All told now, 16 countries have expelled 138 Russian diplomats. This is an unprecedented collective action, bigger than anything in the Cold War.
All right, Terry Moran, thanks so much. Robin?
Well, now to a mystery overseas. Speculation that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un may have visited Beijing, and if so, this would be his first known trip outside North Korea since taking power. ABC's Bob Woodruff is in Beijing and has the latest. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Robin. You know, this morning, a South Korean intelligence official told a South Korean newspaper that Kim Jong-un was indeed aboard the armored train that carried a high-level North Korean delegation to here in China. Now, if that visit is confirmed, this would be Kim Jong-un's first known trip outside of North Korea since he took power in 2012, and it could mark a thaw between China and North Korea, whose relationship has really grown tense due to Kim's nuclear ambitions and his repeated missile tests. This mystery delegation traveled in a very large convoy while here in Beijing. This trip could give Kim the chance to show he has China's support, and that might strengthen his position when or if he meets President Trump in May. Now, we are told that the train has now departed from Beijing for the next 15-hour trip back to North Korea. Robin.
All right, Bob, thank you.
Yeah, we're watching that closely. We're going to move on now to new trouble for Facebook. The FTC has confirmed that it's investigating the social media giant for possibly compromising privacy as concerns grow about Facebook collecting phone and text message data from users who click a specific button on their profiles. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis here with the latest. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. This is pretty shocking for a lot of people. Facebook says it is collecting the call and text history of some users who've opted into sharing that information. It's all in the fine print, but the backlash is growing as many discover just how much data the social network has about them and their friends. This morning, Facebook under fire, the pressure intensifying in the wake of that Cambridge Analytica privacy scandal affecting up to 50 million users. The tech titan's stock down 10% over the last week. CEO Mark Zuckerberg alone losing nearly $10 billion in net worth in just 11 days. Plus, at least 3 major companies pulling their ads off the platform, at least for now.
Advertisers have no other place to go, but ultimately I think what's most important is that we really be thoughtful about the way that we're advertising on the platform and make sure that we're doing everything that we can to do so responsibly.
37 attorneys general writing to Mark Zuckerberg, they are, quote, profoundly concerned, demanding the social network updates users with easier ways to control their accounts. And now a number of employees inside Facebook tell ABC News they're disturbed and outraged by the situation.
This was a major breach of trust, and I'm really sorry that this happened.
Meantime, new questions about just how much information Facebook's been collecting. The company now acknowledging Messenger and Facebook Lite users with Android phones who've uploaded contacts and chosen to opt in have had their call and text history logged, like Dylan McKay, posting to Twitter what appears to be a full call log from his phone, which goes back years.
Facebook seems to be reeling from all this, Rebecca. Their stock has taken a hit over the last few days. But walk us through the issues with this Messenger app right now.
So the issues with Messenger, and this is for Android users, this is what we're referencing in the piece here. Anybody who has that Messenger app or Facebook Lite and an Android phone can turn this off by unsyncing their contacts. So you turn that synced contacts to off. That way you're not sharing the information.
And that will guarantee that you won't share any more
That guarantees you're not sharing that information with Facebook.
Okay, well, that is important information. Rebecca, thanks very much. Amy?
All right, now to growing outrage after a 23-year-old unarmed black man, Stephon Clark, was shot and killed by police in his grandmother's backyard. His family now demanding justice. And ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more on that story. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning, Amy. High emotion in Sacramento, where multiple groups and the family of Stephon Clark are demanding justice and crying out for change after the young man's death at the hands of police. The family attorney, Benjamin Crump, is leading the charge.
A brother's angst on full display.
I want justice for Stephon Clark. Please give us justice.
And cries for justice from the grandmother of Stephon Clark, the unarmed black man shot 20 times by police while in her backyard in Sacramento.
Why did you just shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg, send a dog, send a taser? Why? Why y'all didn't have to do that?
The family's attorney, national civil rights lawyer Benjamin Crump, who also represented the families of unarmed black men killed by police like Michael Brown and Tamir Rice, called Clark's death an execution.
People who committed a mass shooting in Florida were not shot once, but a young black man holding a cell phone is shot 20 times.
When officers approached Clark, they were responding to a 911 call about a man attempting to break into cars who was now hiding in a backyard, according to the department. Police say the officers say they thought he had a gun, but they only found a cell phone. On Sunday, the Sacramento Kings posted this PSA demanding accountability and change.
Black, white, brown, we are one.
Clark's death also prompted this question during Monday's White House press briefing.
The president has come out strongly about the importance that law enforcement play in this country. Has he commented at all about the shooting death of Stephon Clark?
I'm not aware of any comments that he has.
Benjamin Crump has asked that an independent autopsy be performed on Clark, and the NAACP is now calling on the Justice Department to investigate his death. And according to Crump, since 2015, this is the 73rd family to have to mourn the loss of a black man, unarmed, killed by police.
So heartbreaking.
All right, and they want answers.
They do.
They want answers. They want to know why they turned off their body cams.
No audio, right.
No audio on that. All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Well, this morning, we also want to pay special tribute to Linda Brown. She is the woman who helped reshape race relations and education here in the U.S. Ms. Brown passed away Sunday at the age of 75. She was at the center of that landmark case, Brown versus Board of Ed, that ended racial segregation in American schools. She was 9 years old in 1951 when an all-white school in Topeka, Kansas refused to let her enroll. So her father sued, and 3 years later, the Supreme Court ruled in their favor. So many honoring her legacy, including Apple CEO Tim Cook, who wrote, "In the field of public education, the doctrine of separate but equal has no place. Thank you to Linda Brown for what you stood for and the impact it had on this nation. Rest in peace."
Just 9 years old, and she changed the face of America.
Well, her father stepping up and suing, and people didn't think, especially being down south. And Tim Cook, he grew up in Alabama, so he's well aware of what the times were there. But she stood up, her father stood up, and made change.
And she continued to speak out later in her life as well.
She did.
Okay, she will be remembered. Let's move on now to Rob.
Hey, George, it is severe weather season in the south and central Texas. We're looking at hail yesterday, the size of golf balls here just down the road, baseball size hail. We've got another threat for severe weather in more populated areas today. I-35 from Dallas all the way down to San Antonio, beginning there and then stretching down towards South Texas in the afternoon. Hail, damaging winds, maybe some tornadoes, but I think that's less of a risk. But you saw the size of the hail there. We can get some big damaging stuff. And then tomorrow, obviously, it all slides down to the south. Some heavy rain with this. We've got flash flood watches that are posted for northeast Texas all the way through the mid-Mississippi River Valley. Remember, this is the same area that had a tremendous amount of rain just a month ago, so the rivers are already swollen, still flooding in some cases. So it's not going to take much, and we think 4 to 6 inches of rainfall expected here over the next day or two, really going to Thursday or Friday, and stretches into the Ohio River Valley as well. Meanwhile, there's a drought in other parts of the country. We'll talk more about that a little bit later in the program. Your local forecast, just 30 seconds away, but first, your Tuesday trivia brought to you by Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
All right, stepping out the door this morning, you're going to need this small umbrella if you're going to be out late today, and a nice warm jacket, too. We're starting out a little on the colder side, lower to mid-30s here this morning, but about 50 to 52 degrees later today. You're going to notice the clouds, not as stunning and bright as yesterday. You'll notice, too, that the rain chances are going to stay with us all week long. Our best chance on Thursday, going through about Friday lunchtime. But the weekend is dry. Easter weekend, 65 on Saturday, 62 on Saturday.
We continue to cheer on spring here at GMA. It's clearly not working.
You're getting us closer to 50 here in New York, closer.
George, you're familiar with this. You want to show you the cherry blossoms that are blooming just outside of Fairfax. Not peaked yet, but just a few days ago, covered in snow. Now, the National Parks Association says that the service says that it's not going to damage the blooms. It's only pushed them back, so a little bit later this year, maybe the first and second week of April, just in time for the Cherry Blossom Festival. So. Good news.
Yeah, goodish.
Thank you, Rob. Coming up, dramatic arrest. U.S. Marshals take the Cohen River Water Park into custody after that tragedy that killed a 10-year-old boy. He and his team ignored dozens of warnings, all to impress a reality show.
And the new report about Prince and what was in his system when he died, what it may reveal about his final days.
And new details about that spring break mystery and what may have led to a deadly gas leak. The warning signs every family needs to look out for when we come back.
To most people, I look like
most people.